Hi Virgo, this is your monthly reading for the month of June for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading and this is not going to resonate for every single Virgo out there. All right, you guys, let's get started. What is happening for my Virgos for the month of June? All right, we have the Moon, the Three of Swords, the Nine of Coins, the Nine of Cups, the Three of Staffs, the Two of Coins, the King of Swords. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Strength card. So, Virgo, for the month of June, it almost feels like you guys are starting to come out of a sense of delusion that you might have been under for some time. So maybe about a connection or about a relationship, something. There's just something here where you're waking up and realizing like, wow, I might have, it wasn't what I thought it was. This isn't what I believed it was. It's almost like you got caught up in the reflection of the moon instead of the moon itself. And I believe that for a lot of you, that could have caused some pain because it's almost like for some of you, this could have been a person that you really cared about, whether that's a family member, a friend, a lover. This could even be like something that could have done with work where maybe you believed in this company and something just, there was something here and it almost feels like it's kind of crushed your heart in some way. It made you guys feel unstable in yourself because now you started to question your own reality as a person. And maybe you feel like maybe you're not a stable person, right? Like in your mind, you're like, well, if I was gullible enough or I believed I could fall for that, does that make me a bad person? Does that make me like you question your intuitive side, you question parts of your rationality, like you're like, wow, because what happened was you got so caught up in what you believed this was, thinking that you're going to get this was going to fulfill you on some level. And when you waited for that to happen and when it didn't happen, that's when that rational side of you kind of came in. I'm getting that so this is super random and this is obviously not going to be for every Virgo, but I feel like you guys might have like a Virgo sun or a Virgo moon. But what I'm really getting is you have like a Libra moon. I'm picking up Libra moon for some of you, or like, yeah, I'm really getting just like a Libra moon somewhere. Some of you guys might even have like a Pisces rising or like a water sign that's a rising sign. But that's just really what I'm getting. It's like your rational mind kicked in after this didn't happen. And it feels like it was a connection, somebody that you were sweet on, somebody that you loved. But it's like you believed that this person was going to be able to fulfill you in some level. You believed that this person made you happy or was going to make you happy. And when it didn't, it's like it crushed a part of you to where now you're questioning that, like maybe even perhaps the type of people you date, but also questioning yourself in dating, questioning yourself in relationships, questioning your perspectives. Because now it's like you almost feel like, okay, well, I can't continue this. And then I'm getting as well, too, is you felt like you've lost. Like this person could have taken from you, stolen from you, made you feel like a fool, and left you. And now it's like maybe even your finances, your resources, there's something here that made you feel like you are drained. It's like you had no choice, though. This is what it feels like. It feels like you had no choice but to go down a specific path now. Like this person could have chosen something for you. It made you feel left out in the cold. It made you feel abandoned and betrayed and left. This was something. This was something that you ultimately thought that this person was the person for you. But behind the facade, it was like, yeah, this person might not be toxic. And even if they were toxic to some extent, it's almost like this individual didn't show you their feelings, or they just didn't show you what you wanted. Because I feel like you're dealing with somebody that was guarded. And for some of you guys, you're learning to put down these burdens and start a beginning somewhere else. You know that you need to. I feel like some of my Virgos could have stayed single for a while after this connection, because this really hurt you and you felt like, oh man, I really need a break. Like I don't actually know what I want. Let's get some clarifiers here. But this just feels... This feels like you've been really hurt, like you were naive once, and now it's like you're growing up in some way. Yeah, see, heartbroken again. The second that you came to this realization, it was like you realized, man, this person took so much from me. I got so little in return. This like devastated you guys. Oh, Virgo. I'm so sorry for any of you that is dealing with this. There's like a sense of shame that you allowed this person. See, it's all over the place. There was like this sense of shame that you had, that you allowed this person to use and abandon you. It's like maybe you were with this person, they walked out on you, and now it's like you have to pay the bills. Now it's like you can't afford something even, perhaps. This person could have really robbed you or stole things from you. You guys felt so stupid for believing this person. You thought that they were there for you. You thought that they loved you. And then you told yourself like, well, if they loved me, they wouldn't have done what they've done to me. So that must mean that they didn't love me. But really what was happening is like this person, they saw that you were perhaps, I just get that they were really lying to you. They put very little in, but you put so much in. And it's like they kept feeding you lies. And I'm getting that it was just like your mind felt jumbled up almost, like, because all you could think about was this vision, this 10 of Cups. This person kept making you go back and think about that, and that's what kept you guys so trapped. That's what was so painful, was this love, this passion, this persistence that you kept going, you just kept going. You gave a lot of your time, your energy, and your efforts. Some of you guys, this could be a divorce or just like a separation, but this was a painful one because you gave so much. And you give so much of your love, your passion, your time, your energy, your efforts. Yeah. And this person, they really didn't give back to you what you felt like you deserved. They didn't balance this out with you, even though it was like they talked more than they showed. They didn't put in the physical action. They didn't meet you halfway. They didn't give you what you needed. I'm also hearing that this person could have been just like a selfish lover all around. They didn't really care about you. They only cared about themselves. And even in the bedroom is what I'm hearing. Yeah, see, some of you guys, you're in this defensive state where you're guarding yourself because you've waited, but you're guarded while you were waiting, hoping that this person would come back and make this right with you, hoping that they would come back and tell you the truth. Yeah, see, exactly. You were hoping for this person to come back and tell you how they were feeling, what they're thinking. You wanted open, honest communication, and you wanted to know where they stood. You wanted to have, it's almost like a part of you guys, even in your mind, were hoping that this person would come back in a grand gesture, you know, like expressing themselves in some way. See, it's all over the place. So I don't know if some of my Virgos, I feel like some of you guys might even perceive yourself as a hopeless romantic because it's like everything just keeps flying out. But I keep getting like, you know, maybe you can see your love life as like a movie playing in your mind. Some of you guys might even have like a Leo moon. Or like a Leo and Venus sign. If your Venus sign is in Leo or in the 5th house is also something I'm getting here. But you see it like you wanted it to be one way, like you projected a fantasy onto this person, and that wasn't even who they really were. They were showing you that they were inconsistent by not giving to you, but in your mind, you were seeing them as this person and they were capable, don't get me wrong, they're capable of being able to give you what you deserved, but I'm getting the sense that this person didn't put the work in. I'm also getting that this person wasn't willing to give and make sure that it was balanced for this connection. This individual left you hanging oftentimes, and they made that decision for you. I felt like, again, that fell out. It's like this person, they could have cut this situation, or it's just the way their actions were was proving to you that they were choosing not to deal with this, to not put in that effort, because this person, they got caught in lies, I believe. And I honestly believe that that's one of the reasons you felt like you were so guarded, that you needed to protect yourself, because you felt as though you had no choice and all you really wanted was this person to reciprocate back to you, but they just didn't. So I feel like that really could have messed with some of my Virgo's self-esteem, because you really care about this individual and you thought that they did the same. And I'm not saying that they didn't care, but to what extent is a person going to, you know, show that they truly care when they're just telling you lies, when they're just feeding you nonsense? I feel like that's what this person was doing. It was like they didn't want to have to put in the effort. They didn't want to have to put in the work. And then I feel like some of you guys could have even just settled because you saw something inside of them, because perhaps you got caught up in it's like the image, it's the belief, it was the fairy tale that you had with this person. And for some of you guys, maybe that's not necessarily something you're dealing with now, but that could have been how it was in the past. Like young love, you know, maybe that was a love in the past that you were never able to get over, and that's something that you needed to look at more closely, because could be impacting your relationships currently and your future relationships. But I feel like a lot of my Virgos, you guys got caught up in the imagination, and you have to think about it like this too. Virgos are very, yes, oriented. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I can set a schedule, I can be more practical. But your counterpart on the wheel is a Pisces. And Pisceans can go with the flow, but they can have the tendency of getting caught up in illusions. And I feel like for some of you guys, that's kind of what was happening, was you were just getting caught up into that illusion of this person, of who you believed they were. But you fell in love with the image more than you did the real person. And I think that this individual felt that way. And that's another reason why they never took it seriously. Because see, at the bottom of the deck, they were wearing a facade. They were wearing a mask. They weren't being honest. They saw that you were persistent. And so that's why I think that it continued as long as it did. But a lot of you guys are giving up. That's what it feels like with that Strength card in the reverse and the shadow. It's like a part of you sees, what's the point of trying to fight for this person if this person's not willing to put in that effort for me? It's like they're just all talk, they're no show. But all of this stuff that you've had to go through is leading you down to enlightenment. You guys are going to have epiphany moments in this realization. Some of you guys, it's that realization that not everyone's perfect. And look, again, that facade. But what's all of this? I felt like it was guilt and trickery behind it. That's incredible. It's like behind this thing you had, it's like you saw this person as being perfect, but yet you did things for them out of guilt because you felt like you needed to be perfect, or you felt like you wanted to be loved and seen. And then it was like this person was using that, tricking you. Man. And that pops out again, you guys. Seriously. We have discovery. So you're discovering yourself. You're discovering even like parts of who you once were. So there's nothing wrong with getting caught up in the fantasies of things, but we need to understand that sometimes that's just what we really were hoping for in ourselves. So I feel like you guys are really discovering what it is that you really want inside, and you're working towards it. But I think you're realizing again that this person you dealt with was wearing a mask. They were tricking you. They were not being honest with you. And again, I get that you had this perseverance about you here, Virgo, where you persevered with this person even when they were hurting you. Yeah, we have expansion and then impartiality. You know that you deserve somebody that's willing to work with you, that's willing to expand with you, that's willing to put in that effort. And I feel like you're dealing with somebody that they were very lazy. They didn't have high standards for themselves. They settle in life. They take what they can get. They're like opportunists. This person always looks at things like they have shiny object syndrome. It's like this person has like ADD or something, where they can never just stay. They're always moving. They're always going. You're dealing with somebody that wasn't good for you. And because of all of that, you have to grieve. You have to allow yourself to feel that and understand that you're not stupid. You're not wrong. Nothing is wrong with you for getting caught up in this, because we've all done it. We've all had those relationships where we get caught up in the fantasy more than we do the relationship itself, and it just crumbles beneath our feet because it was never really there to begin with. And I feel like for some of you guys, this was hard for you to handle because you could have wasted a lot of your time, a lot of your efforts. I feel like a lot of you guys, I keep getting that guilt and that shame. Some of you might feel ashamed that you put up with what you did, or that you allowed this person to get away with so much. But Virgo, you need to know that obviously this person saw perhaps that naive side of you and could have taken advantage of it. And that says a lot more about them than it does about you. And I feel like we all have that naive side to us, but that was kind of the beauty of it, I think, is that you came at it like almost like a child in a way, where it's like this belief that it's going to work out, and this belief that things are beautiful, that things are going to be grand and great. And there was nothing wrong with that. And I felt like I needed to say that for some of my Virgos, because I feel like a lot of you guys beat yourself up because you're like, oh my gosh, how stupid am I? I can't believe I fell for this person's trickery. But you know what? There are a lot of charismatic people out there. There are a lot of people out there that can seem very genuine. And sometimes we can get so caught up in the words and the way that they come off that we sometimes forget the bigger picture of things, or we forget that, they need to put action in. They can't just talk. And I have to be careful with how far I'm allowing myself to get caught up in another person. It's like, because you got so caught up in them, you lost a sense of yourself. And that's, I think, one of the issues was you lost yourself in this connection. And now it's like you're having to rediscover yourself again. You're having to give yourself that permission to really understand, what do I want? What does Virgo want? And really deciding that and really putting that out there for you. But I feel like there's nothing wrong with wanting to have a beautiful, happy relationship, but you just need to be more open to the idea that not everybody has true intentions, and you need to understand, like, what is somebody's motivation for getting into a relationship with you, because you might have a motivation to be in a committed relationship and have a long-term relationship, have a family, be happy, whatever, but somebody might have, I want to just have fun. I don't want to settle down. I want to have fun. But if you don't know that person's intentions, and you have two different morals or two different standards or a different way of viewing things, then it's going to clash. It's not going to work. And so I feel like you were dealing with somebody who, they had a different set of morals than you. They had a different set of values. And this person, they were not afraid to perhaps lie to you or to take from you, or I'm getting that, this person could have taken full advantage of you. But that doesn't mean that you were gullible. That doesn't mean that you are stupid and that you deserved it. That just meant that was a lesson that you needed to be a little bit more cautious, but that doesn't mean that you have to stay guarded. That doesn't mean you have to keep your heart closed. That doesn't mean that everyone's going to be like that. Not everyone's the same. There are players out there. Yes, there are people out there that are going to take advantage, that are going to hurt you. But when you realize, I can't give all of myself to one person. I need to give to myself first. I need to know what I want first. And once you develop those standards, once you develop that self-esteem, that self-worth, and know, I deserve to be happy and I deserve to be with somebody who's going to give me that happiness, then is it that you're going to be able to really understand what it is that you want. And so I feel like for a lot of my Virgos, for the month of June, a lot of you guys are going to have your ups and downs. You might be going through some moments of sadness, moments of anger and frustration. Just try to be kind to yourself. Give yourself that time, that space, and be there when you know you need to for yourself. So that's what I have for my Virgos. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great and wonderful day. And just remember, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Bye.